In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created an entire e-commerce store inside of Airtable using only Stripe payment links. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is the day. Stripe has released the Stripe payment link API, which means we will be able to create payment links at scale that we can then use to create things like e-commerce stores and tools like Webflow or Airtable. And that is exactly what I've done. I have created a proof of concept store inside of Airtable where I can basically sell different products using Stripe payment links. So I'm not even going to beat around the bush too much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also hit that like button if you are as pumped about Stripe payment links as I am. But with all of that being said, let's dive into it. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. We're going to have a look at this e-commerce store that I created, and I actually borrowed all of Allbirds products for my demo store. So thank you to them for that. And so in a nutshell, the way that it works is I can add a whole bunch of products to my Airtable e-commerce store. And then whenever someone wants to buy it from my view or share link, they can just simply click on the buy now button for whatever product they want, and that will then take them to a Stripe checkout page where they can now simply fill in their email address, their card information, and make a payment for that product. Now, the one limitation that we're going to have with Stripe payment links at the moment is that you can only sell one product at a time. So if you are looking for a more traditional e-commerce setup where you can add different items to your cart, then using Stripe payment links is probably not the right fit. However, if you just want to sell a single item, then this will absolutely do the trick. You can just simply create a Stripe payment link in the background and then add that payment link to your e-commerce store, and people will be able to jump in and make a purchase. Now, the way that it works is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is jump into the grid view of your Airtable base that contains all of your products, and then just give your product a name. So I'm going to call these nice shoes. Great name. And then I'm going to simply look for a photo. I'll just look for some Allbirds to stay on theme. And then I'm going to select this one in here, upload it. So I'm actually going to rename it Adidas Birds because that's what they are. And then we're going to give this a price. So we're going to say $85. And then as soon as you've added a product name, a product image, and a price, all you need to do is just click on the generate a Stripe payment link button, and that's going to run a script in the background that will now automatically add that product to your store. So you can see that it's been added down there. And now when I click on the buy now button, it again takes me to the checkout page for my Adidas Birds with the price, and I can now go through that entire checkout process. So I'm gonna quickly make a sample payment for this product, and just a quick little tip, if you are ever testing a checkout in Stripe in test mode, you can actually use the card number 4242424242, and that will allow you to make payments without you having to add an actual credit card. And so that is a really useful thing to do if you are testing a workflow setup like I've been doing with my sample e-commerce store. So now that we've made that payment, another thing that we can do inside of Airtable that is really awesome is to actually send that transaction to our Airtable base so that we can then use Airtable to basically control or update our customers with the fulfillment status of their order. So you can see here how a new item or a new record has been added to our transaction table, and that obviously includes the email address of the customer, the amount that they paid, and it even includes a link to the payment receipt. So you can see here the Adidas Birds have been purchased. And so now what you can do is you can set up workflows inside of Airtable that automatically send that customer's information like their payment receipt, or you can even send them an update when you change the order status from received to sent to complete. And so even though of course this is nowhere near what something like Shopify does, it is quite cool that you can now really simply use Stripe payment links to create a little mini e-commerce store inside of Airtable where you can add products that people can buy at scale. And so the question is now, besides an e-commerce store inside of Airtable, what else can you do with those payment links? And that is where I'm getting really excited about the work that Stripe is doing in the no-code space. So one of the features that I'm personally most excited about trying is Stripe Connect. So if you don't know what Stripe Connect is, it's basically the way that marketplaces process payments. And so the way that it works is you can simply allow your suppliers to sign up to your website, and then whenever a customer makes a payment for a product on your marketplace, Stripe automatically splits up that payment between you and the percentage that you get and the supplier on your website. So that means in theory, you should be able to create things like a mini or niche Amazon where you can have local suppliers add products to your e-commerce store and then allow people to basically make a purchase where you can then take a cut of the transaction and have a similar business model to sites like Uber or Airbnb. So another thing that you could potentially do with Stripe payment links is to send those payment links to the Webflow CMS and then use those payment links as a way to process payments rather than using the native Webflow e-commerce solution. Now again, there are going to be a lot of instances where using Webflow e-commerce will just make more sense, especially if you typically sell multiple products in one go. But again, if you just need a quick and filthy setup of a one sell product or something that you would typically use something like Gumroad for, then Stripe payment links is definitely something that you should look into. Now, one quick thing to note is that with the launch of the Stripe payment links API, there is very likely to not be a native integration with Zapier or Integromat, which means you'll need to find another way to generate these payment links at scale. So what I have done is I have written a script using Airtable Scripts that automatically generates these product and payment links inside of Stripe and then it sends that information back to my Airtable base so I can then reuse it in my e-commerce store. And we created a module on Code Meets No Code that talks you through the exact same steps to replicate this. So Code Meets No Code is an e-learning platform that was created by Aaron and myself, where we basically go out and find our favorite tools and translate their API docs into usable scripts and explainer videos that you can then watch to rebuild whatever workflows you want. So the way it works is you can go through all of the different videos that will break down exactly how the overall script was generated, and then you can either just follow along to the video or you can jump into the script section just simply and copy and paste it out and add it to your Airtable script. In case you have any unique use cases, you will also have access to our community forum that is packed with no coders and low coders working on similar projects. So even though I know learning how to code can be a bit intimidating, I mean, I've been there and I have struggled my way through it. This here is set up for people who are already in the no code space working with tools like Zapier and Integromat. And it's just a really great way to take what you've already learned and turn those concepts into code form. And trust me, if you are already familiar with how certain automation tools work, then writing out simple scripts is not as difficult as you think. So in case you don't want to wait for the Zapier or Integromat integration, or you just simply want to skill up your no-code game by understanding how to write scripts inside of Airtable, then I'll leave a link to Code Meets No Code down below, and it would be fantastic to see you on the other side. Okay, so before I go, super excited about what Stripe is working on. It's going to be an absolute game changer for the no-code community. The fact that they've been working on solutions for people who don't code just shows that this movement is growing, and it's going to create a lot of opportunities for people in this space. So I want to thank you so much for sticking around for the entire video. Again, I hope to see you in Code Meets No Code. Other than that, I'll see you back here for the next video.